This is the Conservative Czar, September 10th, 2012. Today I want to continue to go over a theme that I've been talking about since I started up the blog again. And that is that for traditional conservatives, it doesn't make much difference what happens to the presidential election in 2012. I want to make a case today that actually it helps if Obama is elected. I'm not advocating voting for Obama right here, but I'm still talking about the fact that this is not a big difference, and it isn't going to hurt that much if Obama is reelected. I want to first go back and I would reiterate, and this is very important that we keep saying it, and I keep saying it over and over. I represent the views of a traditional conservative. A traditional conservative, and when I'm talking about a traditional conservative, I'm talking about one who wants to reduce the size of government. I'm not saying by how much, but a real reduction in government, not a reduction in the rate of growth. That just gets us to the same place, only in different time frame. So, number one, a traditional conservative, in my opinion, is a person who wants to reduce the size of government. And the second part of a traditional conservative is to defend traditional Christian values, primarily the issue of life and the fact that life begins at conception and that any interference between conception and birth is interfering with a existing human life. That is the position of most traditional Protestants. It has been the position of the Catholic Church for thousands of years. It is the position of Islam. It is the position of great parts of the Jewish community. So this is not a radical extreme position. And when I'm talking about traditional Christian values, I'm not talking about preaching Christianity. It's their values. And those are the same. It's very easy for a Muslim to defend Christian values, or a Protestant, it's easy a Protestant to defend Christian values. It's easy for some Jews to defend Christian values. The values are, for the most part, the same. And we're talking, and we're leading off, the most important thing is pro-life. There are other issues tied to this, but by far the most important one facing us today is the issue of life. Now, backdrop this. This is what is important. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is what happens if Obama is elected, and let's just say that the Senate splits 50-50, which means that Biden will be the swing vote. The Democrats will control the Senate. But it doesn't make any difference. If it's 49-50 or 49 Democrat, 50-50 or 49 Republican. The Senate is not, the control of the Senate is not cut and dried at all. And we are assuming that in the House of Representatives, the Republicans still hold a majority. So in the case of Obama, if he is reelected, he will not have control. He will have to continue to compromise, and he will not be getting his own agenda. All revenue expenditures arise out of the House of Representatives. We control the House of Representatives. Republicans would have a lot of power mitigating the leftist views of Barack Obama. So Obama isn't going to have free control over the next 4 years. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a disaster. But it's their disaster. It's the Democrats' disaster. If Barack Obama is reelected in 2012, the 2014 midterm elections will be like 2010. We will be energized. We will go into the battle, into the fray, with a lot more ammunition and with hopefully better people to put in place. And that's a guess, but if we got organized and if we concentrate on 2014, we can make a change, the fundamental change that is required to defend traditional conservative values. If Romney is elected, and I say without any hesitation that he's not a conservative, either in the traditional sense or in the non-traditional sense. He is almost by definition a moderate. So if he is elected with Republican Senate and a Republican House of Representatives, we own the results. First thing that happens is 2014 doesn't mean anything. We can't energize against Romney, against the Republicans. We will, I'm sure we will. But it will be nothing like the energy if Obama was still president. If Romney is president, 2016 is probably locked out of us. Because to defeat a Republican incumbent president in a primary is if it isn't impossible, it's almost impossible. And so we're locked out for 8 years. With Barack Obama as president and with the midterm elections in 2014, where we have a chance of gaining a stranglehold on Congress, now we can make changes in 2014, and we can carry those changes attacking the President Obama. We can carry them to victory in 2016 with a conservative, a traditional conservative candidate, someone who will want to reduce government and someone who want to defend Christian values. This scenario, if you play it out in your head, we as traditional conservatives are much better off with Obama as president than Romney as president. The other issue here that comes up is a couple of side issues. One, and it's a very good argument, and that is about the judges. But look at Mitt Romney's record in Massachusetts. He appointed liberal judges in Massachusetts. He is not going to appoint conservative Supreme Court justices. The name that comes to mind, I've said this before, is Souter. So the judges, we are better off making the fight in the United States Senate by the senators saying we are not going to confirm any liberal or moderate judge. We'll have the seat go vacant for 4 years if we have to, before we will bend over under an Obama administration to a liberal judge, and that'll take a lot more guts than I think the United States senators led by McConnell will have. But that's an option. It's a better option than Romney picking the judges. And the other thing about health care, we have seen over the weekend what Romney's going to do with health care. I've said it over and over again. Read my blogs, read my written words. They spell out that this is not what Romney is going to do. What we are going to have is a grand compromise on health care and budget that will include massive tax increases now and cuts into the future, and a Romney, Boehner, McConnell, Obamacare. That's what we're going to end up with. We're not going to repeal health care. The time to repeal health care is in the 2014 elections, where the mandates will hit next year. The people will be living under those mandates right into the 2014 elections. We make it a national issue, and we can win the Senate and the House in the face of a Democrat president being tied to Obamacare, not Romney, Boehner, McConnell, Obamacare. In these cases, there just isn't any reason for us to be committed to the Romney presidency. Again, I'm not saying I'm ready to say vote for Obama or don't vote for Romney. It's just the reality is there isn't going to be much difference. And in fact, traditional conservatives could be better off with an Obama presidency than a Romney presidency. This is the Conservative Czar. See you next time.